Perfect.
The Hurt Faces of Punch-Out. What is there to say about the Punch-Out series that hasn't already been said? Punch-Out and the sequel, Super Punch-Out, are straight-up icons of gaming. The rhythm-like pattern recognition of its gameplay, the unique charm and overt racism of its many larger-than-life characters. This video in particular will analyze an aspect of these games that I think is overlooked and, quite frankly, requires much further discussion. I'm talking, of course, about the faces of Punch-Out. Specifically, I'm referring to these faces. I'm going to call these the Hurt Faces. After you've made the appropriate dodges, you're given the opportunity to land a few blows on your opponent. During this brief window of time, between when you land the first hit and throughout the window to land more hits, your opponent makes his hurt face. These faces are ugly, goofy, and sometimes downright spooky. And I think they have simply not received the attention they deserve. So let us honor these hurt faces together, shall we? Exhibit 1. Piston Honda. When I was growing up, I had more memories of playing Super Punch-Out than the original. So going back and looking at some of these hurt faces in the original Punch-Out, it is mind-boggling how unattractive and frightening they are, and how I never noticed this before. Like, just look at this one. This man has just seen a ghost. Nobody has ever looked so simultaneously terrifying and terrified. You can go to sleep now, sir. No more nightmares. Exhibit 2. Great Tiger. I just love the wide discrepancy in this one, between how he looks when he's cool, calm, and collected, and then how he looks after you dodge him one time and then hit him in the face. The composed Great Tiger looks prim and proper, confident, a true Bombay gentleman. I mean, just look at that sweet mustache. And then you land one hit on the guy and he loses an entire eye? Damn, you might want to get that checked out, dude. Exhibit 3. Bald Bull. Okay, now this is just getting sad. This poor guy has a medical condition, clearly. I don't even want to make fun of this poor dude. Exhibit 4. Mr. Sandman. This one is honestly just haunting. That one bulging eye. Are those fangs in his mouth? Just does not sit right with me. This is an image you can use to induce nightmares in children or adults. Exhibit 5. Super Macho Man. Just what exactly is going on here? The obvious implication is that he took one in the balls, and it hurt him good. That's a sweet look, Mr. Man. Exhibit 6. Mike Tyson. Jeez, come on, Nintendo. Mike Tyson offers you his likeness for your new video game, and this was a hot commodity at the time. And this is the face you designed for him when he gets hit? The eyes really tell you the whole story here. Exhibit 7. Bob Charlie. The Super Nintendo. Beloved vessel of my prepubescent youth. The awesome graphical upgrade over the original Punch-Out allowed them to go into way more detail with these hurt faces. But before we get started on these Super Punch-Out characters, I just have to take the time to mention one thing I love about this entire game. And that is the way the announcer guy says the names of each of the characters before the fight starts.
Gabby J! Bald Bull! Bob Charlie! Dragon Chan!
The Super Nintendo was pretty limited in terms of voice acting. I don't remember it appearing in many games, so this was really memorable for me. And I think the shitty sound quality just adds to their charm, honestly.
Hey, Garo! Super Macho Man! Rick Bruiser! Nick Bruiser!
Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's move on to the hurt faces. Bob Charlie's hurt face is a good example of a reoccurring theme common among many opponents in Super Punch-Out. Hurt faces that include googly eyes or crossed eyes. An antiquated gag perhaps, but always hilarious. With Bob Charlie specifically, it's just so funny and also so sad at the same time. Like if you freeze it on just the right frame, this guy looks completely broken. Knees buckled on his tiptoes pointing toward each other, and then his eyes are just like, what the fuck? Are you okay, sir? Exhibit 8. Dragon Chan. Dragon Chan actually has two hurt faces that I like. The first is this one here. Look at this dude's neck. His face. Sweet Jesus. Sprinkle in a few spit particles to garnish. And then there's awesome Dragon Chan hurt face number 2. His hair goes all punk rock and his face stretches out beyond all recognition. That is not a great look for you, buddy. Exhibit 9. Masked Muscle. That is not a great look for you, buddy. In fact, that is a terrifying look. The shape his teeth made always gave me the sense that he was a cannibal or something, like he was gonna eat my face. Exhibit 10. Super Macho Man again. Super Macho Man is a fucking legend. I pretty much consider him to be the face of the series. He's funny in many, many ways, but his hurt face is also quite notable. It's, well, look at it. His eyes go bloodshot, his mouth hangs open somewhat awkwardly. His jawline appears to be dislocated. Super Macho Man, I salute you. Exhibit 11. Narcus Prince. Real quick, before we get into the hurt face on this guy, just look at what he does when you knock him out. That will never not be funny to me. The hurt face he makes here is also priceless. The overbite, the crossed eyes. Narcus Prince is just an absolute treasure. Exhibit 12. Rick Bruiser. The younger brother of undefeated champion and boss of the whole game, Nick Bruiser, Rick Bruiser suffered his one and only defeat to his older, more intimidating brother. I was always fascinated by that little bit of backstory for some reason. Rick Bruiser has another hurt face that looks like he has a medical condition. His eyes alternate bulging back and forth while his clenched teeth grow to consume half the size of his head for some reason. I especially love the two comically sized earrings he's got. Earrings on men were actually very stylish at the time. Bonus exhibit. The laughing faces of Punch-Out. You got Soda Popinski, Bald Bull, Mr. Sandman, Heike Kagero, Narcus Prince, Hoy Carlo, and Rick Bruiser. What do all of these opponents have in common? Well, if any of them happen to defeat you, they will laugh at you. Bald Bull actually has the distinction of laughing at you in both of the Punch-Out games. And both of his laugh animations are nightmare-inducing. Rick Bruiser's laugh sounds like he's had a few too many cigarettes. And Heike Kagero, that's actually very progressive by 1994 standards. What do you think, Mr. Prince? So, I hope you enjoyed this look at the hurt faces and laugh faces of Punch-Out. In conclusion...
Yay! Come on! Ow! Knockout!